Okay, this is Summer 15, paper 41. Okay, question number 1. This is about ratios. So, show that 6,500 cars drive through the road toll on that day. Okay, so here's the ratio: cars, trucks, and motorbikes. We know that there's 12,000 vehicles driving through the road in total. Okay, so first of all, we're going to add all these up. We find there's 24 parts. So 12,000 is 24 parts. Therefore, one part is 12,000 divided by 24, which is 50. So we want to find out that there are 6,500 cars. So if there's 13 parts that are car, so what we're going to do is 13 times 500, which is 6,500. Second question, calculate the number of trucks that drive through the road. Okay, well, we can see that there are 8 parts that are trucks. So it's just 8 times 500, which is 4,000. Number B, the toll charges in 2014 are shown in the table. Okay, show that the total amount in the tolls was 34,500. Okay, so we know that there were 6,500 cars, 4,000 trucks, and then we're going to find out that there are 1,500 motorcycles. There are 3 parts in the ratio that are motorcycles, so 3 times 5,000. And then we just times the amount of vehicles by their charges, respectively. So the amount of cars times by 2, the amount of trucks times by 5, the amount of motorbikes times by $1. And then we just add them all up and we find that the total is, in fact, what they've said it is, 34,500. C, the total amount decreased by 8%, okay, on the same day the year before. So calculate what that was, that total amount that was in 2013. So 2014, we know we just found out was 34,500. This is 92%, as it's a decrease of 8% since 2013. So that means that 2013 was 100%, and that's what we're trying to find out. So all we're going to do is just find that to get to this answer, x is 34,500 divided by 0.92, because that is what this is as a decimal. And we find the total for 2013 was 37,500. D. Okay, so 2,750 of the cars paid by credit card. Write down in its simplest terms the fraction of cars that paid by credit card. Okay, so what I've done here is I put 2,750 over 6,500. I've cancelled out the first zeros because we can see we can divide it by 10 immediately. And then also I've seen, just by looking at it, that you can probably divide it by 25. So I've divided both numbers by 25, comes up with 11 over 26. I can see that I can't divide that by anything more, so that must be its simplest term, 11 over 26. And question E, to the nearest 1,000, 90,000 cars drive through the toll road in a week. Write down the lower bound. Okay, well, what would we round up? 89,500 is the lower bound, because we would round that up to 90,000. Question number 2. Okay, the table shows the value for this equation. Complete the values. Okay, well, simply here, here, and here, and here. All we're going to do is just substitute this x value into the equation to find what y would be. So I've just done that with my calculator and got these values. B, okay, on the grid, draw the graph. Well, all we're going to do is use this table and plot the coordinates. So as you can see, it's very difficult to do this on a computer, but the black lines are the plots. So we've got this little guy here and this curve on there. B, by drawing a suitable line, use your graph to solve this equation. Okay, so we can see here that y equals 2. And so all we're going to do is draw a line out through the y-axis at 2. So that is the line y equals 2. You see where these intercept with our equation plot. And that is the solutions to the equation. So we just put all 3 values in there. Make sure you do this nice and accurately with a ruler as well. Okay, This equation has only one solution. Write down the range of values of k which is possible. Okay, so it, first of all, only has one solution. So this has three solutions, so it's got three intercepts. This will only have one. So we're going to go back up. So k must be the minimum point, because here we can see this is the line where below that, this only has one solution, because it's only going to have one intercept with this line here. So that means that for the solution, k must be below the minimum point as a value. We can see the minimum point is roughly like 1.2-ish. So that is simply the solution to the equation, is that k is less than the minimum point of y equals 1.2. So k is less than 1.2. And E, finally, by drawing a suitable tangent, find an estimate of the gradient of the curve at the point where x equals -1. Okay, well, firstly, I'm going to draw a line, a tangent. If you can't remember what a tangent is, it is just a line that goes along a curve where x equals -1. Okay, I've roughly done this here. So x equals -1. Oh, this line can only touch our curve at x equals 1, and it must just touch it and then scrape off. So it's sort of, this is not very accurate, but you can see what I mean. Secondly, we're going to take 2 points on this line to find the gradient, and then simply use those coordinates of the points A and B that you've chosen, and you put the change in y coordinates over the change in x coordinates, and this is how you find the gradient. And the answer to this E is -1.4 is the gradient of that tangent. Okay, number 3. Okay, this is all about transformations. First of all, shape A, here we are. Draw after a translation of -1, 3. Okay, well, for this, we know that this is the x-axis coordinate and this is the y coordinate. So what we're going to do is do the change. So it's -1x, to take this point, -1, and it's +3 on the y, so up 1, up 2, up 3. This is our new point, and from there we can do the same with all the points, and we can just draw out our new shape. Okay, shape A after a rotation of 180 through the point 0, 0. It's going to be clockwise as it hasn't specialized otherwise. So here's the center, 0, 0, and we're going to go 180 degrees, and we can find that that is our new shape there. You can use that by doing tracing paper. And number 3, after the transformation represented by the matrix 1, 0, 0, -1. Well, you should recognize this as a reflection, and it's going to be in the x-axis. So that is simply that reflection there. Okay, describe fully the single transformation maps A onto B. Okay, so what I've done here, as I can see, it's obviously being enlarged. So what I've done is drawn little lines to sum up, basically link this dot to this dot, this point to this point, and this point to this point, so old to new coordinates. And then we find that they all cross over at 1, 0. So this is the center of our enlargement. And then to find the scale factor, well, we know that this is 1 square here, whereas on this shape, it's 1, 2, 3. So the scale factor is 3, but it's going to be a -3 because we are going under the x-axis here. Find the matrix which represents the transformation shape A onto shape C. Okay, well, this is a rotation. This time we're going anti-clockwise. And since the center is going to be 0, 0, and it's -1 here, so a normal rotation is 0, 1, 1, 0, but we're going to be saying it's a minus because we're going anti-clockwise. Okay, question number 4. 30 students were asked if they had a bicycle, a mobile, or a computer. Here are the results on a Venn diagram. Okay, quick recap Venn diagrams. We've got these two symbols that are often used. This generally means kind of and this means union, which could be represented sort of by or in letter terms. Okay, A, work out the value of x. So, okay, 30 minus all of the numbers is going to equal x. So just type that into your calculator and you find that x is 5. B, use set notation, which is this stuff, to describe the shaded region in the Venn diagram. Okay, well, you see here it's C and also M, but there's nothing to do with B. So that is C and M only. So it's C and M. Okay, find the number C, N, and then M, U, B. And don't forget this guy. This means not. So simply this is C and not M or B. Okay, well then it's just C, isn't it? That is just children with computers. There we go. 3. Okay, D, the student is chosen at random. Okay, write down the possibility that the student is a member of M. So, and then they've got this, which is the opposite. So set not M. So everything not in M. So if you go back up here, you can see we've got 2. That's a set of M, 1, 3, and don't forget these guys are completely outside, and 2. Add them all together, that makes 8. And then the probability is just 8 over the total, which is 30. Okay, write down the probability that the student has a bicycle. Okay, well, that is everyone who has a bicycle doesn't mean that they don't have anything else. So we just go up here, 2, 4, 7, and 1. Add them all together, that makes 14. And again, that's 14 over 30. Okay, 2 students are chosen at random from the students who have computers. Okay, find the probability that each of these students has a mobile phone but not a bicycle. Okay, so the people who do have mobiles but not a bicycle, that is 6 people. So first of all, we are going to find the number of students who have computers in general. So that, if we just add it up, is 3 plus 6 plus 7 plus 1, which is 17. So that is our total. Okay, so the probability that the first student will have a mobile phone but not a bicycle is, here we go, 6 over 17. Simple. Then we're going to times it by the probability that the second pupil also has a mobile but not a bicycle. And so now we know that there is now only 5. And there is also only 16 left in the computer group. So it is 5 over 16. And we times them together. We get 30 over 272. And that is the simplest form of that fraction. And so that is the probability. Okay, question number 5. Andreas stands on level horizontal ground, 290 meters, 94 meters away from a vertical tower, which is 55 meters high. Okay, just draw that as a triangle. So he's 294 meters away from a tall building, 55, so that's a triangle. Calculate the angle of elevation to the top of the tower. That's x. Okay, this is just a simple SOHCAHTOA. So we can see we've got the opposite and the adjacent, so it's tan. So we're going to use tan x equals 55 over 294. Type that into calculator, 10.6. Question number 2, he walks x meters directly towards the tower. The angle of elevation is now 24.8. Okay, so it's 294 minus x, which is now our adjacent. Opposite is the same, and we've got the angle. So again, we're going to use tan, but we're going to use this unknown value here. And let's just simply put this into the equation, shuffle it around a bit, and you find that x is 174.9, or just 175. B. Okay, the diagram shows a pyramid. All right, the rectangular base has length 4.8 and the width of 3. And the height of the pyramid is 4. Calculate y. Okay, here we go. First of all, number 1, what we're going to do is find the length of x. So from here all the way to here, because then we can use Pythagoras because we've got these two. So x squared equals 4.8 squared plus 3 squared. Type that all into the calculator. We find that this long x across is 5.660. And then we can use half of this value to do the same thing with Pythagoras with this and this. So it's a new triangle, 4, half of 5.66, and then y. So we just do the same thing with Pythagoras and type that all into your calculator. We get 4.9 is y. Okay, then they want us to find the angle between a sloping edge and a rectangular base. Okay, so we're going to find this x. Okay, this is also just SOHCAHTOA. So we know that we can use the opposite and the horizontal now because that's what we've got. So just do 4 over 4.9. And let's find in your calculator that the angle is 54.7. Question number 6. Okay. Time, minutes, 400 people take a test. Okay, A. Write down the modal time. Okay, this is the most frequent. You can see that the most people are in 100 in this time bracket. Therefore, this is the most frequent or the modal time interval. Okay, 2. Calculate an estimate of the mean time taken to complete the test. Okay, well, this is going to be the sum of the middle of each time times by the frequency. All right, so I've written down the middle of each of the time intervals, and then all we're going to do is times them by the frequency of each, and then plus them together, get 12,350. To find the mean, we just divide that by the total amount of people, which is 400, and we get 30.875 or 30.9 rounded up. Okay, complete the table of cumulative frequencies. All right, all we do here is instead of writing the frequencies, we're doing cumulative frequencies. So we're just going to say, okay, under 30, we're going to plus 135, which is the frequency of the time interval. The next frequency was 85, plus that on. Next was 70, plus that on. And then the final group had 10 people, so that's 10. Then we're going to use that to draw the cumulative frequency diagram here. So we just simply plot the values onto here like we do with other things. Okay, then we've got some questions we're going to use the graph for. The median time, okay, well, all we do here is find the median time by going, well, there's 200 people, there's 400 people, so the middle is 200, find it's roughly 29 minutes. The interquartile range, well, this is the third quartile minus the first. Each quartile is 100. So all we do here is we take the value, the time taken at roughly 300 here, and the value of the first quartile, which was roughly there. So roughly 36 minus 24, 12. The 15th percentile, okay, so 400 people. To find 15% as the number, we do it times by 0.15, which is 50% as a decimal. We find that 60, so we go up to 60 here on the cumulative frequency, and we find it's roughly about 19. Finally, the number of people who took more than 50 minutes. Okay, well, let's see. We're going to do the opposite now. We're going to start from 50 down at the bottom, go back up here. We find that there's 370 people were below 50, and we're trying to find the number of people who took more than 50. So that is just 400 minus 370 roughly, which is about 30. Okay, question number 7. Here is a triangle, and they want us to calculate PQ, this length here, A. To do this, we have enough information already to use the cosine rule. A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A. This is just something you need to learn. Okay, just squeeze in all of the numbers into that formula and put it into your calculator. Find the square root of it all, so use this to take that. And we find that it is 8.27. Okay, the area of a triangle. Well, again, another formula you need to know. Half AB sine C is the area of a triangle. So half times A times B sine C, and we get 28.18 or 28.2. All right, B, bearings. Okay. All right, they've given us quite a lot of information. Calculate the distance GJ. Okay, so I'll just go through this quickly. So they've given us that this angle here is 45. They've given us that this angle here is 164. So we can find out this because these are opposite. It's 180 minus 45. So this is 135. We can then find this angle here in the triangle because this is 360 in total. We know these two 360 minus 164 minus 135 gets us 61. So this is 61 here. Then we can find out, as they've given us this total angle here is 126. We can find out this triangle angle here, because it's again, it's 126 minus 45, which is 81. So we've got all three angles of the triangle. Okay, we're going to use this rule to find out the distance. Again, just another rule you need to know, just opposite angle and length equals opposite angle and length. So we're going to use the information that we know to find out GJ. So this is the formula. I've simply just moved this over, and we find that GJ is 55.8. Okay, question 8. Jamil, Kira, and Luther collected badges. So I'm going to say J has X, K has 12 more bags than J, so X plus 12, and L has 3 times as many as K. So it's 3 times what K has, so 3 and then brackets what K has, X plus 12. And we know that that all adds up to 123. So we just add that all into an equation. 123 equals all of that. Simplify that. 123 equals 5x plus 48. We're going to solve this to find the value of x, and we just find that x equals 15. Find the integer values of t. Okie dokie, which satisfies the inequalities. All right, so what we're going to do is take this as one equation and this as another, and just rearrange that to make t the subject. We know that t is less than 8 from this side. And we do the same here, rearrange to make t the subject. And we'd say t is bigger than or equal to 5.28. Okay, well, to find the integer values, we can say that t must either be 6 or 7. Okay, C, solve the following equations. All right, so again, we're just trying to make x the subject here. So what I've done is I've moved this onto the other side. Let's become that. And then we can just simply move everything over to make x the subject. Find that x is 9 over 5, which is 1.8. Number 2. Okay, this is a quadratic formula question, as it's got a squared and it equals 0. So we're going to use the quadratic formula. Again, something you just need to memorize. For this, we're going to say A is 3, B is 7, and C is minus 5. Put that all into the equation, type it into the calculator. Don't forget that as it's a square root, we've got plus or minus. So it gives us 2 solutions. So make sure you do both. And we find that the answers are 0.75 and minus 2.91. Number 9. Okay, this is a chord/circle rule question. So get up to speed on them. Okay, they've given us a circle. AC is the diameter. ST is a tangent. Okay, find the value of x. Okay, where is x? Here is x. Okay, well, this is just a rule that you need to know. X is going to be the same as this angle, which is A, I've labeled. And we know that this is a tangent, so it's going to be a right angle. So we know that this angle here, A, is just going to be 90 minus 48, which is 42, and A equals x, so x equals 42. Okay, calculate y. So y is this angle here. Again, a rule, these two angles are going to be the same. So we can see that we've got all the angles in this triangle now. So we can just do 180 minus 42 minus 27, and that's going to be b. And as y equals b, y also equals 111. Okay, B, this is quite a fun question. All right, the diagram shows a shaded shape formed by 3 semicircles. Okay, the radius of each semicircle is shown on the diagram. All right, calculate the perimeter of the shaded shape. Okay, so the circumference or perimeter of a circle is 2 pi r. Therefore, a semicircle is just pi r because we don't need to times by 2. It's just pi r. So what we're going to do here is we've got 3 semicircles, one here, A, one big one, B, and a smaller one, C. So to find the perimeter, we're just going to add all of their circumferences up to all of their perimeters up in we find that it is just 37.7. Okay. The second question is asking us to find the area. Okay, so, oh no, it's asking us to find the volume, in fact, which we first of all need to find the area. So it's the volume, right, so 1.6 millimeters thick this thing is. Okay, so calculate the volume. All right, so give your answers in cubic millimeters. Okay, so we know that all of the things above are in centimeters. So straight away, we're going to have to change everything to millimeters by times it by 10. All right, first of all, we're going to find the area. The area of a semicircle is half pi r squared. So the total area is going to be a plus b minus c this time, as you can see, because that's not shaded. So it's a big B minus little c. All right, so just type that all in. So it's half pi times 40 squared this time, not 4, because I'm timesing everything by 10. And the second one, b, half pi times 60 squared. And then we're minusing c, half pi times 20 squared. Type that all in, we get this lovely number here. And then we want to find the volume. So we're just going to times the area by the thickness, 1.6. And we find that the total volume is 12,063. Okay, question number 10. This is quite difficult to do on a computer. Okay, first of all, find the actual length of road BC. Okay, give your answers in meters. All right, so we've got the scale of 1 to 5,000. B to C, roughly on using a ruler, is 9.7 centimeters. Okay, so we're going to do 5,000 times 9.7 centimeters, which is 48,500. Then we have to change it to meters. So we divide it by 100 and we get 485 meters. Okay, another straight road starts at M, the midpoint AB. Okay, the road is perpendicular to AB and it meets the road CD at X. Okay, using a straight edge and a compass only, construct MX. Okay, so what we first need to do is we need to bisect AB. So you put your compass on A, go over halfway, draw a little circle. Same as B, you find they intersect, draw an X, and the same with D and C, and we find that they intersect as well. And then we're just going to simply draw a line between them and make it perpendicular to CB. Okay. Okay, C. There is a park in the area enclosed by 4 roads. The park is less than 290 meters from B. Okay. And nearer to CD than CB. All right. So the first things first is we're going to change 290 meters into centimeters. And then we're going to divide it by 5,000 to find out how many centimeters that is. So we find that is 5.8 centimeters. So first of all, what we need to do is we're going to draw a curve with your compass, which is 5.8 centimeters away from B, because that is the maximum it is going to be for B. So the park must be within this region. Then the second piece of information says that it is nearer to CD than CB. So in this case, we're going to bisect angle C, okay? Because it's nearer to CB than CD. So we bisect this. By doing this, we just take a point on each line, draw your arcs like this. They should match up, and you draw a line straight through there. And we find that actually this is therefore then the area of the park. Okay, last question. Question 11. Make X the subject of the formula. Okay, well, first of all, what I'm going to do here is take T onto the other side, times everything by T. TA minus TX equals XR. TA equals XR plus TX. This has a common factor, so I'm going to take X out of that bracket, and then I'm going to take that whole bracket onto the other side, so we find that X equals TA over RT. Okay, number B, find the value of A and the value of B when X squared minus 6X plus A equals X plus B squared. Okay, so we can see here, this is a complete the square question because we want this in this formula. Not formula, in this format, I guess. So to complete the square, what we do is we make a new bracket and we take half of this number. So half of 16 is 8. And then to find a, we're just going to times that all out. So it's x minus 8 squared. Well, what is that? That is actually x squared plus 16x plus 64. So we know that this is going to be b, because that's what the formula is in the question, and this is going to be a. And that is simply how we find out the values of a and b. And finally, c. Write this as a fraction in its simplest form. Okay, so they're minusing, so we need to find a common denominator. So what I've done is just times each side by their denominator. So this side's been times by 3x minus 1, which means that 6 also has been as well. And this has been times by x minus 4, so 5 has as well. Okay, they can now be minus together. So times out the brackets on the top, we get this. And then we're just going to simplify it. 18x minus 5x, 12 minus 12x, and then minus 20, so plus 20. We get 13x plus 8 over the common denominator. We can't simplify that anymore, so that is its simplest form. All right, and that is that paper done, and good luck in your exams.